All right, so I would like to define what an occupation is. Sometimes we hear different words, jobs, careers, occupations. And for the purpose of today's session, we are going to talk about some specific occupations. And an occupation is a job or a profession. So that's different from a career, which is an occupation that you would pursue over a significant period of your life. So we're going to start first by talking about occupations. Now, each state's Department of Labor and the US Department of Labor track the number of occupations. In the US, there are 923 occupations, and in the state of Vermont, there are 567 occupations. So I hope these numbers help you realize that there are a lot of options to choose from. My guess is you haven't heard of or experienced all 900 occupations that are available nationally, and maybe not even all 567 occupations that are available right here in Vermont. So it's a lot of occupations to choose from. Now, there are all sorts of different tools that can help with career planning, and they do things like grouping careers by your characteristics, by the job's characteristics. And one tool that we're going to talk about is called career clusters. So career clusters are organized groups of similar occupations. And each career cluster identifies knowledge, skills, and pathways for a range of careers. So there are 16 career clusters that are commonly referred to nationally in the United States. So we'll share some resources to help you look at all of those. And today we'll go over some examples. But let me start by showing you a list of all 16 career clusters. And I would love for you to take a moment to read through this list. You may not be familiar with all of these career cluster titles. You might be. You may have seen them before if you're enrolled in CTE Center, Career and Technical Education Center, for example. They often organize a lot of careers into clusters and use these 16 career clusters. And maybe your high school has, but if you haven't, this could be the first time you're seeing the list of all 16. So just take a moment to scan through them and write down, if you have a piece of paper or open a note or a document on your computer, and just write down which ones you're already interested in. So as you read this list, it's not a list of all the occupations, just a list of the clusters. See if there's a few that you're interested in. You can write down as many as you want, one or more. All right, so now we are going to go over examples of jobs in each career cluster. We'll describe each career cluster, and we will also give some examples. We won't go over every occupation in the career clusters, because remember, there's 16 career clusters, but there's over 900 occupations divided up into these career clusters. So we won't be going over all 900. We'll just give examples, but we will give you links to resources where you can look up all of the occupations. So make a note as we're going through the clusters of the clusters that you already identified you're interested in. Just kind of watch for those, listen to those descriptions carefully, note some of the job examples. And if the occupation that you are specifically interested in isn't listed in my list of examples, you can look up that information later with the link that we provide. And also make a note as you hear about these career clusters. If some of them are new to you, just make a note of any that you might be interested in learning more about. So watch for the ones that you're already interested in and see if there's any new ones that pique your interest that maybe you haven't heard of or you didn't think of before today.